Sophia suddenly plunges into bizarre exhaustion memory fading, fatigue so crippling she can barely work. Every night, husband Nathan brews her tea with a tender smile. "Drink up, my love, I care for you." But after each sip of that brew, Sophia crashes into a wild, bottomless sleep, waking up feeling utterly unhinged. Suspicion ignites. She fakes drinking the tea, secretly dumping it into a plant pot. Horror unfolds. Nathan creeps to her computer, Colorado Pies files, invades her bank accounts, snaps photos of vital documents. He's plotting a savage scheme with Mistress Chloe to plunder every asset and vanish. Sophia uncovers the nightmarish truth. Her husband is slowly poisoning her. And before we continue, write in the comments from which country you're watching the video, and also check if you're subscribed to the channel, as I share interesting life stories with you every day. Okay, let's enjoy the story. Sophia felt drained, like a squeezed lemon. Not long ago, life had seemed vibrant and full, but now every day turned into a torturous battle against overwhelming fatigue. The job she once loved now felt like an unbearable burden. Financial reports, charts, analytics all blurred before her eyes, as if through a haze. She made mistakes, completely unlike her, and dreaded the call to her boss's office. Evenings were worse. As soon as she crossed the apartment threshold, a wave of apathy crashed over her. She barely had strength to cook dinner. And after dinner, when Nathan offered her tea, she simply couldn't resist. "Drink up, darling," he said softly, with a caring smile. "You need to rest. You work so hard." Sophia knew he was right. She did need rest. But somehow, right after that tea, sleep pulled her in with incredible force. She barely made it to the bedroom before collapsing onto the bed, sinking into a deep, dreamless slumber. And it wasn't just sleep. Strange, fragmented, anxious dreams tormented her. She woke up shattered, with a heavy head and a sense that something important had slipped away in her sleep. The symptoms grew stranger. Beyond constant fatigue, a fog clouded her mind, a scatterbrained haze. She forgot simple things: where she put her keys, what to buy at the store, what meetings were scheduled for tomorrow. Once, she even forgot a colleague's name after working side by side for years. Nathan seemed not to notice her state, or pretended not to. He was as attentive and caring as ever, but a new hidden anxiety lurked in his gaze, one he tried hard to conceal. He grew more irritable, snapping over trifles, then apologizing, blaming work stress. Sophia tried talking to him about her condition, but he brushed it off, chalking it up to overwork. "What are you imagining, honey?" he said, hugging her shoulders. "You just need rest. Take a vacation. We'll go somewhere. Unwind." But Sophia felt it wasn't just fatigue. Something was off. Something had changed. She started suspecting foul play but couldn't pinpoint what. Her usually reliable intuition stayed silent, only stirring vague, uneasy feelings. One evening, when Nathan offered her tea again, Sophia suddenly felt a surge of panic. She stared at the cup, pierced by a thought. What if he's spiking this tea? What if he's deliberately knocking me out? The idea was absurd, wild, but she couldn't shake it. Nathan, her loving husband, the man she'd lived with for years, couldn't do that. But why did she feel so awful? Why was her condition worsening daily? She recalled words from Rebecca, her best friend since childhood. Rebecca worked as a pharmacist and was always a source of helpful advice and practical aid. Days ago, when Sophia complained about her fatigue and forgetfulness, Rebecca suggested it might be a side effect of some medication or supplement. "Are you taking anything new?" Rebecca asked. "Maybe vitamins or herbal teas?" Sophia remembered the tea Nathan brewed for her every evening. "No, nothing special," she replied then. "Just tea my husband makes." Rebecca frowned. "What kind of tea? Always the same?" "Yes, regular black tea," Sophia shrugged. "Sometimes with lemon, sometimes honey." Odd," Rebecca said thoughtfully. "If symptoms persist, see a doctor and get tests. Maybe just vitamin deficiency or something." Sophia hadn't thought much of it then. But now, with suspicions gnawing, Rebecca's words resurfaced. She decided to call her friend and share her fears. "Rebecca." "Hi. Sophia said, trying to sound calm. "I need your help." "What's wrong?" Rebecca asked worriedly. "How are you feeling?" Sophia described her symptoms, the weird fatigue, forgetfulness, and suspicions about the tea. Rebecca listened intently and paused. "Sophia, I don't want to scare you," she finally said, "but your symptoms could indeed be from a sleeping pill or sedative. Some drugs cause those side effects, especially with long-term use." "You think Nathan could be spiking my tea?" Sophia asked in horror. "I don't know." "Sophia," Rebecca replied, "but I'd check if I were you." "How?" Sophia asked, bewildered. "Well, try skipping the tea for a couple days and see how you feel," Rebecca suggested. "Or make sure he doesn't know you're drinking it. Maybe pour it out secretly or switch cups." Sophia thanked Rebecca and hung up. She felt lost and scared. It terrified her to imagine Nathan capable of this, but she knew she had to uncover the truth. That evening, as usual, Nathan prepared the tea. His movements were smooth, even tender. But Sophia now saw falseness in them. Every word, every glance, felt like calculated lies. "Here, drink up, darling." Nathan handed her the cup with familiar insistence. "You need to rest. You're exhausted from work." Sophia took the cup. It smelled of chamomile and something else, subtly chemical. She recalled Rebecca's words about sleeping pills, how easily they could be mixed in without trace. "Thanks," she murmured, keeping her voice steady. "I'll drink it now." Nathan settled across from her, watching. His eyes held a strange, almost impatient anticipation. Sophia felt a chill down her spine. Now or never, she thought. She stood and went to the window, raised the cup to her lips, pretended to sip, then discreetly poured it into the ficus pot on the sill. Then, faking another sip from the empty cup, she set it down. "Odd taste," she said, wrinkling her nose. "But probably just tired." Nathan tensed noticeably. "Yeah?" he asked. "Maybe too strong?" "Maybe," Sophia replied, yawning. "I think I'll lie down." She rose and swayed toward the bedroom. Nathan watched, his gaze now clearly anxious. Sophia lay on the bed, closed her eyes, and tried to relax. She sensed Nathan in the doorway, observing. After a while, he approached and leaned over her. Sophia felt his breath on her face. He touched her shoulder, shook gently. "Sophia," he called softly. "Sophia, are you asleep?" Sophia didn't respond. She breathed evenly and slowly, mimicking deep sleep. Nathan lingered a bit longer. Then, convinced she was out, quietly left the room. Sophia lay still, listening to every sound. She heard him pacing the apartment, opening and closing drawers. Then silence. She waited a few more minutes to ensure he was occupied, then cautiously opened her eyes. The room was dark, only moonlight slipping through curtain gaps. She quietly rose and slipped out of the bedroom. Nathan sat at her laptop in the living room. The screen glowed in the dimness, illuminating his face. He typed rapidly, flipping through documents. Sophia froze in the doorway, watching. She saw him open her email, access her online banking. He copied files to a USB, photographed documents on his phone. His actions were swift and assured, as if he'd done this before. Sophia felt ice inside, her suspicions confirmed. Nathan wasn't just hiding something, he was deliberately, methodically robbing her. But why? What was he planning? She tried memorizing every detail, which files he copied, which documents he photographed. She saw him print papers, file them, and hide them in his briefcase. When Nathan finished, he closed the laptop and glanced around, checking if anyone saw. Then, he stood quietly and headed to the bedroom. Sophia darted back to bed and pretended to sleep again. She felt him approach, lean over. He touched her hair, stroked her cheek. "Sleep, sleep, my good girl," he whispered. "Everything will be fine." Sophia shuddered in disgust. How could he pretend like that? How could he say those words, knowing what he was doing? She lay motionless until Nathan returned to the living room. She heard him turn on the television, flip channels. Then he apparently dozed on the couch. In the morning, after Nathan left for work, Sophia called Rebecca first. "I need your help," she said, trying to stay calm. "It was all true. Nathan's deceiving me." Rebecca listened without interrupting. "What did he do?" she asked when Sophia finished. He copied my documents, accessed my online bank, Sophia replied. I don't know his plan, but it's serious. We need to act fast, Rebecca said. You need a lawyer. I know, Sophia replied. I already called Mr. Leonard Hayes. He said, come today. Good, Rebecca said. I'll help pack and drive you to the lawyer. They met an hour later. Rebecca brought a large bag and boxes. What's this? Sophia asked. Essentials, Rebecca replied. Clothes, documents, valuables. Take anything he could use. They quickly gathered what mattered to Sophia. She took her passport, marriage certificate, deeds for the apartment and car. She also grabbed her jewelry and cash from the house. Hide originals, Rebecca advised. Bring them to me. I'll lock them in my safe. Sophia agreed. She knew Rebecca was her only reliable ally now. When done, Sophia felt calmer. She'd done all she could to protect herself. Thanks, Rebecca, she said, hugging her friend. I don't know what I'd do without you. No problem, Rebecca replied. I'm always here. Now, to the lawyer. Lots to do. The drive to Mr. Leonard Hayes' office was silent. Sophia thought how her life had flipped upside down. Yesterday, she was a happy wife, sure of her future. Today, a betrayed woman fighting for her life. Sophia sat in Mr. Leonard Hayes' waiting room, trying to steady her shaking hands. His office, furnished in dark wood and lined with law books, seemed a calm island in her stormy life. She breathed deeply, focusing on the talk ahead. Sophia, come in, please, she heard the lawyer's steady, confident voice. Mr. Hayes, with his neat gray hair and sharp gaze, impressed as someone who could solve any problem, even the toughest. He gestured to the chair across his desk. So, Sophia, have you reviewed the documents I prepared? Yes, Mr. Hayes. I read them carefully, and I'm ready to proceed, Sophia replied, trying to sound firm despite inner fear. The lawyer nodded. Excellent. Let's get to specifics. First and foremost, your finances. Block all bank cards immediately. I've prepared the statements. Sign and submit them to the bank. He handed her papers. Sophia took a pen and signed quickly, avoiding thoughts that days ago she'd never imagined signing against her own husband. Second, Mr. Hayes continued as she finished. Change all passwords for bank accounts, email, social media, everything Nathan could access. Create new, complex ones, impossible to guess. I understand, Sophia replied. Resolve awakening. She pulled out her phone and opened her password manager. Third, Mr. Hayes leaned forward. Given the credit attempt in your name, contact the credit bureau and file a fraud report. It'll prevent further unauthorized use. Sophia listened intently, absorbing every word. She felt more confident. She had a plan. She was doing everything to protect herself. And, last, Sophia, Mr. Hayes, paused. I recommend temporarily changing residence. Stay with a friend or somewhere safe. I've arranged with Rebecca, Sophia replied. I'll move to her tonight. Mr. Hayes nodded approvingly. Good. I'll contact you with updates. Follow my instructions and stay calm. Sophia left feeling stronger. She'd blocked cards, changed passwords, filed the fraud report. Now wait. That evening, at Rebecca's, her phone rang. It was Nathan. She hesitated before answering. Hello, she said uncertainly. Sophia, why aren't you answering my calls? Nathan's voice held panic-edged worry. What do you want, Nathan? Sophia asked, trying to stay calm as her heart pounded. What's going on? Nathan's voice grew louder. Don't you know, Nathan? Your schemes are exposed. I know everything, Sophia replied, aiming for cold confidence. Silence fell on the line. Then Nathan said in a quiet, trembling voice, What are you talking about, Sophia? I don't understand. Don't pretend. I know your plans, your mistress, the credit you tried taking in my name. I know it all, Sophia said, anger rising. It's all lies. Who told you? Sophia, please, hear me out. It's a misunderstanding, Nathan pleaded. Misunderstanding? You photographed my documents, copied my files, spiked my tea with sleeping pills. All a misunderstanding? Sophia snapped furiously. Sleeping pills? Sophia, I'd never harm you. I love you, Nathan tried justifying. Love? If you loved me, you wouldn't betray me so vilely. I'm filing for divorce, Nathan, and I'll ensure you answer for your actions. With that, Sophia hung up. Soon after, an email arrived from Mr. Hayes with copies of Nathan's messages to Chloe, his colleague. The exchange was raw and cynical. Nathan discussed pumping money from Sophia, taking credit, fleeing abroad with Chloe. He called Sophia a dumb hen who suspects nothing. Sophia read, her heart tearing from pain and rage. She couldn't believe the man she loved and trusted could be so vile and cruel. In one message, Chloe wrote, "Don't forget, I need a new car and downtown apartment. You promised." Nathan replied, "Don't worry, darling. Soon we'll have everything we want. Sophia's almost in our grasp." Sophia felt tears roll down her cheeks. It hurt, offended, shamed her. She'd been so naive and trusting. She believed Nathan's lies and nearly lost everything. Rebecca, seeing Sophia's state, sat beside and hugged her. "It'll be okay, Sophia. You're strong. You'll get through," she whispered. Sophia buried her face in Rebecca's shoulder and sobbed from pain, offense, disappointment, fear, but also from relief and hope. Later, calmer, Sophia checked Chloe's social media. What she saw confirmed suspicions. Chloe was beautiful, groomed, luxury-loving. Photos showed her posing in expensive outfits, designer bags, jewelry, clearly a gold digger. Sophia felt disgust. She couldn't fathom Nathan trading her for this empty, mercenary woman. But then, Nathan and Chloe were a match, both liars, greedy, unprincipled. Sophia filed for divorce, shedding a heavy, sticky web. After seeing Mr. Devon Hayes in that stormy night accusing Nathan openly, a strange calm settled in her soul. Not relief, but realization the worst was behind. Just finish it. She returned to the apartment for last things. Nathan, broken and lost, sat on the couch, staring blankly. He no longer justified or begged forgiveness. Only doom filled his eyes. "I'm filing for divorce," Sophia said, voice steady and sure. He jerked his head up, surprised. "Sophia, why? We." "We? What, we? Nathan?" she interrupted, smirking. "You betrayed me. Tried poisoning, robbing, abandoning me. You think there's any we after that?" She saw fear flash in his eyes. I didn't mean to. It just happened." "Happened," Sophia echoed, anger surging. "You planned every detail, Nathan. Lied daily, looked me in the eyes and lied. That wasn't happened. That was your choice." She turned away to hide rising tears. It hurt deeply, but she wouldn't show weakness. "I'm leaving and never want to see you again." She packed her things in a large suitcase, avoiding items once dear, each reminded of lies, betrayal. Nathan didn't stop her. He just sat, watching like a beaten dog. Leaving, Sophia felt a huge weight lift. She breathed fresh air deeply and smiled. Ahead was uncertainty, but her uncertainty, her life, and she'd let no one manipulate it anymore. Sophia stayed with Rebecca. Her friend's small, cozy apartment became a true refuge. Rebecca surrounded her with care, distracting from heavy thoughts. Months passed. Sophia worked hard but made time for herself, traveled, exercised, met friends. She no longer thought of Nathan. He became an unpleasant memory, a dark spot in the past. Once, she spotted him on the street. He looked gaunt, aged, alone. She passed without greeting. Nathan watched after her with longing and remorse. Sophia didn't look back. She walked forward to her new future. All right, thanks for listening.